Welcome back to Yeti, episode 110.
The first Alpine stage of this Tour de France is already an important rendezvous for the contenders for final victory. Perhaps, by the end of the day, some will have abandoned all hopes of yellow in Paris.
Alright, so we are on stage number, I think it's 8. First proper mountain stage of this race. There's 4 climbs, 2 Cat 2s, 2 Cat 1s, and we immediately begin on the first Cat 2 of the day. We'll be able to skip forward after that. However, new plan of attack. Might as well go for it while we're here. We're going to take just a second to get them moving, and then there we go. Montez going and settle into position, and Haddad attacking. He's going for the king of the mountains. Now, he is not punchy, though, so it's going to come down to the bigger climbs, like today. He is being joined by Pellizzari. Pellizzari is a much stronger rider base. It's going to be tough to beat him for points today. If I can do it, we're going to get Vacek out there with him. Montez and Panamar will ride for defending GC as best they can, but Vacek at an 81 is climbing that slowly, huh? As more guys try to attack and go off front. But yeah, Vacek at the moment is not gaining up any ground. 4K from the top, so he's going to have to make a push on here fairly soon. And we're probably going to have to get on with Haddad just climbing solo with those guys following behind. There we go. Now Vacek is up there. Let's go ahead and attack.
Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
Acceleration.
He is being joined, and we've got a lot of quality in the attackers here today. Oh, we're already coming up on the top. Well, too late on that part. Haddad's going to go third across the line. It's worth 2 points. We're still trying to get the breakaway itself established, and that snuck up on me. I looked just a moment earlier and thought we were only halfway up, but I was also looking at somebody who was still within the peloton, being Montez, and was not paying attention to that fact that let's contribute here and back off. There we go. Got a lot going on. Got a lot going on as I get the stage established. Well, the 2 of them are off the front. It does look pretty clear they're over a minute ahead, that they should be able to make it into the breakaway for the day. Haddad, a 2-point start for the day is enough to at least hang on to the jersey for the moment. Checking in just past the halfway point of this stage. There's definitely been some undulation with 4 hills between that last categorized climb and where we're at right now. But now we're into the 3 proper climbs to come, all categorized ahead of us. We have contributed first with Haddad, while Vacek, who took longer to catch up, and then allowing him to recover. Then we sat on with Haddad. Then it was Vacek's turn after he got recovered. He contributed for a while. So we have contributed at times, and there's still definitely a bunch of riders that are contributing. And if you didn't notice already, the breakaway has more than doubled in size. Somewhere where things were getting established after the peloton had really sat up trying to let the break go out a bit, another dozen riders attacked, bringing us up to 23 now as we hit the base of the climb. Let's for a moment make sure that these guys are taken care of back here. We're not going to put them on auto, but we are going to make sure that they are climbing at better than in a 77 notch. That's probably not going to be enough, but as for these 2, there's enough guys riding and enough tempo that it's not going to matter. But Vacek needs to protect Haddad. Today we ride for him. If we get the opportunity to go for the stage, we'll see how this first and second climb go. Right now, though, with a 5-minute advantage, it's looking like this breakaway could absolutely take the stage. Even though it's only stage number 8, we blew up stage 1 so much that there was some huge gaps, and a lot of contenders who lost a ton of time on that first stage, that's like one of them, those guys are out of contention already. So Edvin Hagland, Carapaz, Riccitello, Martinez, Pellizzari, Balderstone, like we've got a ton of guys that can climb that are here. We've got 1.7k, so Vatsek's gonna have to do a little lead out here soon for Haddad, and I think now's the time on that. So he's gonna have to push on at about a 90. Haddad, let's follow. Oh, come on, and then there comes the attack. Now that's not a big climb, right? It's only a Cat 2. There's not that many points involved. It was only 5. Gruel, store, get the primary. So for that, it didn't go well. But you got to remember, Haddad is not punchy. If he's going to be taking points, it's big climbs and it's survival of big climbs. That's it. He's decently punchy. He could be competitive in those. But Haddad, he just doesn't have the mold for it. But he's the better, purer climber, and it's going to be a lot easier for him to get in breakaways consistently than it will be for Vatsek. And Vatsek doesn't have the pure mountain rating for the big climbs. So the big climbs are where the big points are. So Haddad's not going to claim very many points here now, very often, but eventually, as we did get everybody over, and actually Peloton shrunk to 86 already. Alright, both guys fully recovered as we hit the base of the next climb. Down to 21, by the way, so just 2 riders were dropped on that first climb and did not regain contention, but 6.5 minutes now, all kind of feeding into that idea, that concept that we're very likely not going to see. Gosh, Harasim just now got the water. We sent him back many kilometers ago, probably 10k. Took him that long to get the water. He's got to get back up there quick. He's going to hit the base of this climb and struggle, and there is the base of the climb. We got him a few more bike lengths before it, but he's got a ways to go to get up into position. Luckily, he's got his red bar. Let's stick around here long enough to make sure that everybody does get their water taken care of. And I think we're onto a bigger, tougher climb that we are going to need to gel for the domestiques. And then for the other guys, we're getting some blinking red. Chase is on. Get them to an 85. Okay, back up front. Still 21 riders. Still just under 6 minutes, and we're halfway up the climb, 3.8. We're going to switch this thing up earlier this time. Not pushing that hard, though. Let's see what an 88 from Vatsik can do. Is that enough to work forward to get Haddad into a stronger position? Still 20 riders in the group. 2.5k now. Position has improved. Haddad, yeah, we're still good. On the oh, come on. I roll it up. I was going to roll it up from an 88 to a 90, and it dropped to a 71, so we lost half a bike length before that got sorted. 1.5k now. Haddad not having the punchiness. You could feel it. He's doing worse than Vatsek right now. I did it again. It rolled up a second time. Vatsek's going to get the max points, but at least he's taking him away from other guys. Haddad ran out of red bar and just couldn't hang in there. We're down to 5. Down to 4. Now's the time to push on for the stage.
We're into the downhill section.
All right, now we sit on. And we got a group of 4, right? Hold. All right, there we go. We've got a effort level. It's Martinez and Baggioli's here as well.
The base is so high that a few riders are going to be very sore at the end of the day.
12 just behind us, but we're going to hit that next climb here pretty quick with only a little bit of recovery. Much shorter descent. Back here, Harasim and Shah have been dropped. Put them on auto, and Abdullah Zayat's held on. Oh, these guys are not in the front group, though. They're in A2, and then there's 19, and then there's 5. Let's go with relay for Zayats. We'll check back in on those guys soon, but here is Vatsek ready to start contributing, and Haddad follow, and Gel for Vatsek. Okay. Zayat's leading the chase. There's 32 ahead of us, and we lost contact with those boys, so we need to set up a train with Abdullah following, and then Palmar and Montez. Or should it be the other way around? Well, Montez is in the better GC position, so I guess we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. They're peeling off. Haddad. Oh, they made contact with us right as I'm trying to go on the attack. No. That's not good. Hey, Follow. Hey, follow button doesn't freaking work. You guys tell me in the comments all the damn time. Third time, still no follow. Come on, Haddad. That six already been dropped, and Haddad can't keep up with the pace. He's just gonna have to climb his own damn pace now, and we'll focus on these guys. He's done. It's early in the climb. Alright, moving on past Zayats. These guys need to climb harder and faster. It's 4K. Make up some ground. Lose less time. Remember, we're like 4 minutes ahead. Well, 3+ minutes ahead of like second place overall, so, or third place overall, that is. Obviously, Montez is not good enough to actually compete for anything like legit. Haddad's already out of energy, by the way. He is going to be, what, 4th over the top? Or worse.
There's now just 10 kilometers left. So it's
okay, so there's Haddad. Here's Vatsek.
The riders to catch their breath.
We're just behind the peloton now. There's the peloton. So Abdullah has caught up. Panamar, 1.5. Let's go. Make up that ground. Get Montez up there. 1K.
That the strongest can create some gaps.
The stage is out, so never mind Haddad and Vatsek and whatever time they're going to gain. This is now about Montez and trying to lose as little time as possible, just for the sake of, hey, he's wearing the under 25s jersey, right? He's 2nd overall. We might as well try and conserve, 70 down. He's not going to last long, but if he can hang on for a little bit here and there. Pellizzari takes the stage. Guys that had lost contact and made contact right at the same time I went for the attack end up getting there all first. We get 7th on the stage with Haddad. Vatsek is going to finish, it looks like, maybe 10th. Yes, 10th place. And then we are going to get Montez coming in with a delay because he crashed on the descent. Final kilometer. He fell behind Panamar there in the end. Vingegaard was only 19th. Pogacar was only 15th. But a good chunk of the front, right, was all breakaway guys. In fact, the top 11 or 12 were all breakaway riders. So Pogacar's pretty dang near first of everybody else following behind. So it was a breakaway kind of stage, and it was looking good there for a little bit for Vatsek and Haddad, but they just got outclimbed, period. The other guys were stronger, and yeah, they have a good mountain rating, but they don't have an amazing mountain rating, and that is why the mountain stages weren't going to be kind of a big feature of this tour, because our best climbers can't even keep up with the guys that are the second tier climbers that go in the breakaway. They got beat pretty handily by them. I mean, sure, it's a top 10 for both of those guys, but it's very much not really competing for that potential win. All right, leaders group comes in 7 minutes down. Wow, 7 minutes before they come in. Potamar was at 9:08. Montez was well ahead of him. Should have been maybe 8 minutes, but he loses an extra minute and a half from that crash and comes in at 9:30 down. So he loses 2.5 minutes on the overall. It does drop him off the podium with Carapaz and Pellizzari from the breakaway suddenly, and they're both from Jaco Alula, suddenly onto the podium, with Montez dropping to 4th, Gregoire, Poole keeping their positions, Baggioli from the break, Grat from the break, Martinez from the break, Ponmar slips to 13th, Vacek jumps to 20th, but he's 9.5 minutes down, so he's not suddenly in GC contention, but Vingegaard is 9 minutes down. Sheffield, 8:19. Ulchabrooks is 8. Lenny Martinez is 1. Like, you've got some climbers around, but suddenly the wide openness of you got Pogacar and then everybody else well off in the distance. Well, with the let's let some guys get into it approach from UAE today, suddenly, podium-wise, there's some guys into it. Montez still only just 3 minutes down. Again, if he had lost a minute and a half less, he'd still be on the podium, at least in 3rd, but he can lose a couple minutes daily and, still find himself well outside of the top 10. But he could probably hang on to a top 20 if we really tried. Potomar, for that matter, could hang on. Vacek certainly now could contend for a top 20, but I don't care about a top 20. It's really not important. The GC, it's one of those little, it's nice while it lasts kind of things. But 3.5 minutes ahead of Winter, and, Winter's 77s across the board, and a strong time trialist. He should comfortably be winning that jersey eventually. Haddad's in 4th. He's moved up a lot. And then Vacek's too old, so he's not in the under 25s. As a team, hey, we are 1st, and that's actually moving up a spot. Jaco Alula, though, moved way up too, with their top 2 guys coming in, 6.5 minute, 10-minute advantage today, with a 1:6:12 for them, all breakaway guys. So they had 3 guys in the break. With the simple truth being that we are just not strong enough mountain-wise to compete at the Tour de France. The other Grand Tours, just about. TDF, not quite. With that simple truth, I went ahead and quick simmed the following stage, stage 9. Vacek did pretty well, finishing just a minute behind, and Montez only a further 20 seconds down. So in the GC, Montez actually moves back up a spot to 3rd place, and Vacek moves up 6 more spots to 14th, just over 10 minutes down, and Potomar drops a little bit to 17th. Pogacar leading quite comfortably. Haddad was assigned with King of the Mountains and made no progress on it. He picked up no points. In fact, Vacek outscored Haddad in that previous stage. Neither one of them able to get any points this time, and we're already too far down. So forward to stage 11, and we're going to give it another shot. We're going to see how we're doing. We do have 2 mega climbs, Ars Cat climbs today, so there is an opportunity. I've got Vacek and Haddad both in the breakaway, but I've also added Ponomar, though at this point I'm not 100% sure that Ponomar is going to hang on. This was a difficult break to create, and it took a lot of foot on gas moments as we head into a hotly contested 30 riders going for, what was that, 2 points? Yeah, 30 riders went flat out for 2 points. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. That is so unrealistic.
The breakaway has now more than
And Ponomar might not be able to get back on at this stage. We are 5.5 minutes ahead of the field, but Ponomar and the effort, right, the push to get up there and just simply being the weaker rider, looks like he is not going to make it back up there, so we are going to let him go. At this point, even Haddad is struggling to hang on with an 85 effort. Have him get the water. I think we're riding more for Vacek at this point, though. I mean, the pure mountain rating, Haddad's got an 80 today, but there's still far better than that by a lot of guys. I mean, August, Gall, Lindqvist, this whole list. Hagland. This is the list of favorites. Martinez, who's had a good year, is a top 10, top 6 or 7 kind of guy GC-wise. In the breakaway, barely even makes the list of notable names. Ponomar has recovered a good bit, but he is very much on his way back, and I guess he's going to get water for everybody there now that he's returned. First climb, has a short descent following it. So I'm less worried about the first climb and more worried about trying to get back recovered as quickly as possible, so I don't want to lose ground. But Haddad and Vatsek are not well recovered right now, and this thing is going to blow up. The 34 that are here, it's going to get wild. And I guess Vatsek and his 81, that's who we're riding for, right? The KOM's not happening. It's so out of reach, and yes, today is a tiny chance for that, but it's a chance for Vatsek, not for Haddad. He is just not a strong enough all-around rider, and this fatigue, not everybody's got it, but the first 15 guys, first 20 guys that got away are going to be in really bad shape. So let's go up to an 87. Here comes Haddad going backwards. He's not going to make it. He's one of the earlier riders getting dropped. But like I said, that first 15 riders, it's not necessarily about, like, Buitrago, Martinez are going out the back. These are guys that went early. Vauquelin out the back. Vanderpool, like, that entire group is who's who. 3.3k. Vatsek, how we looking? Not great for 3k flat out. Numbers continuing to dwindle down to 20. Those who attack later are more favorable, and I'm hoping that those who attack later are in the more dropped. There we go. Down to 15. That's it. Just hanging on. This recovery is going to be awfully short, too. It's going to set up a really difficult next climb. Felix Gall, Lindqvist, Fauer Prost, Haglund, Pidcock, Jeez. Again, we just dropped half the list, and the half that stepped into their place are all amazing, too. This is absolutely the who's who of cycling at this year's Tour de France, and really then some, because you get, guys like Haglund that, are new gens, and all the real life current ones as well. Barring a couple older guys that have retired over the years, that's about it. But Vatsek, decent amount of recovery here, but only a decent. Decent is the word for it. Definitely nothing stronger, and certainly nothing less, but we're only half recovered, and we're about to go into an Arscat. This is not going to finish with 15, I can tell you that much. How competitive will he be? I would imagine we're going to be probably mid-level compared to this group. I don't think we're going to finish in the top. I think we'll be kind of lucky to get 5th. Nice little additional recovery there, though, after the sprint point. Was that a sudden attack? We're going to 95. We should not be getting dropped here. No. Okay. Just had to pedal a little bit harder on that corner. The climb on Ventoux. One of the ways up Ventoux, anyway. And we're talking about 1,900 meters across 23.3 kilometers at 5.1%. Haddad is back in the group, and oops, look who got dropped. I forgot to up their effort for the previous climb. I ignored them completely, which is why I do not like to send riders in the break generally, because if we actually did care about GC, that was a big mistake. We want to protect Haddad now instead. Bonamar, go ahead. Shaw, gel, Bonamar, gel. And back to the front. Still 15. Still 19.5k. And energy already dwindling. In fact, 95 is pushing way too hard. Not that we are actually riding at that 95, but if they push hard, we've got to conserve as long as we can, even if we end up having to climb solo. But we are definitely spending less energy sitting on right now than we would be riding solo. So if we can, we want to ride solo as long as we can, especially into the final phase of the climb where it gets very steep. We're down to 13 already. 2 riders have been dropped. Mark Hershey, Jan Christen. Yeah, 2 very good riders, both out the back. I think this is going to be the important climb, not the next one. We're going to get a full recovery before the next one, and you're either minutes behind or you're still in with a chance. So we're going to use the gel now, There's still 11k to go, and we're nowhere near having the energy to make the 11k. And they've got so much energy, and they're 17 minutes behind. I'm not going to bother with those two being part of it. Let those guys climb on their own, but they've lost a ton of time already. Okay, Haddad, Gel, and back to Vatsek. And now 11 riders. 8 riders. 7 riders. Told you this was where it's at. And we've been dropped. 4 guys go clear. And now we're riding solo, so put your hand up and get your water. Poof. Perfect. Just like that. 2.4k. Okay, we're back in contention as we pass Gall and Lindqvist. That's Lentz and Pidcock. 1.9k. I think I can handle about an 82 to get back up there with Lentz and maybe even Pidcock for that matter. Second over the top is worth a lot of points, and if we are in contention with Pidcock, final kilometer here, let's ride his wheel for a second. Make him do the work. Oh, there he goes. He's going to go win the climb and get the maximum points, the 20, but we're going to get 15. So we're also well ahead of those following. Haddad in the peloton is 8 minutes down. And now we're recovering. Meanwhile, these guys are at the top. 82 left in the peloton. Not even pushing on right now. I love it. Nice old big gaps. 10 minutes down. 10 minutes down. Let's go. That's it. Could be on the podium at the end of the day. Harazim still doing the work. And he's covered plenty of ground. He caught Shaw for one thing. There goes Shaw at the back, though.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
And we catch Panamar. And at this point, it's smarter to wait. No need to push on right now. You've got a group of 4.
Will take full advantage of the incline to get some oxygen into their lungs, but they must
Panamar
remember
gets
to keep
second in
their
line. Abdullah, why'd you lose the wheel? There you go. Alright. Well done there for those guys. And we've got a nice little recovery here. Zayats needs to get water. And we need to get Montez is recovered. He can get the water, come up the line, and just go back down the line. That's it. 53k left. Okay, let's go ahead and get water. And then we will contribute, or will we? Now that Lentz is here. So Pidcock is 16 down overall. We are 10-20. We're in that position GC wise, but Gall is now back up here and Lindqvist. Everybody but Vatsek is working. And these guys have reached the base, recovered. 50 left in the group. Got 11 left in this group. 10 minutes down. Ah, poor Montez. Poor Montez. Harasim went to get water even though the Montez already took care of it. I might be in the best GC position, but I'm certainly not the best one. Gall's an 80 base. Lentz is a 77. Lindqvist is an 80, and Pidcock's a 75, but he's an 80 medium mountain. We're the weakest. We're the weakest of the 5. Lentz is already struggling. 6 chasing, a minute 44 behind. They include Hindley, Perry Pinter, Albert Philipson, Richardello, Van Aert, and Fauer Prost, the KLM leader. Hagland following behind that, and then the peloton, not too far behind Hagland. Hagland was in that break and just couldn't hack it. Yet if it was him with us, he'd be the one where Vatsek is and look comfortable and more stronger, especially if he had the +5, and we'd be like, oh yeah, he's got this. Let's attack the group, see what happens. They'll respond to me. No,
The
not,
pack is
not
increasing
totally.
its work rate,
Gall and
so
I are
teams
now
can't
clear.
be
That's
happy with
good.
the breakaway.
That's good. We leave 2 guys behind. Linkfist and Lentz are not following. I'll take 2 versus 1. Checking back in though. Behind. Sorry, we've got way too many angles. Zayat's protecting Haddad. Good. Okay. Harasim, Panamar. Abdullah got dropped. They are still following, but not following. They've left behind a group. They've left behind another group. I don't like that Haddad is so far down this group. Let's up his effort to hold on. And Vatsek is still working with Gall. And meanwhile, it's tiring Pidcock out, making him ride solo with us only a little bit behind. As long as Gall actually is taking turns, things are looking good. This is a much larger group. It's a peloton now, so they've all been caught, including Haglund. Haglund is no longer there. Zayat's doing well with his +5. Oh, Harasim out of energy onto Panamar. Let's go 81. Still 13.7k. You guys are now 12 minutes behind instead of 10. So much for catching little details along the way. Abdullah's on a -3. Let's take a second, swap these guys. Abdullah's not gonna last as long. If I see them in too bad of a shape, I will try to attack, but we don't have a ton of energy here. Gall can't handle the pace. We can't attack. We don't have enough energy to attack? Come on. That looks like enough energy to attack. Zayat's got dropped. Haddad on his own. And we're going to drop Felix Gall, 2.5k from the top. Sit on. Make him do the work. 1.4. Alright, checking in. Yeah, Gall's way behind now. It's definitely a top 2. Haddad got dropped. And back to the front with Vatsek, following 800 meters. And there he goes.
Pidcock goes onto the attack.
And we drop him. We drop him. We've gone over the top. First place. First place, 99. Alright. Check back. Let's see. Where are we at? Panamar done. On to Montez. 7k. 7k. I think that's about a 78 kind of territory. And Gel. No, it's not. It's really not. 75 it is. 25-second advantage. We got a chance for the stage today. And not a chance for the jersey. Not at all. However, remember, it's like 4 minutes to second place in GC. So we're only 6 minutes down from there. And we're 750 ahead. Vatsek could be in second place after this. He could. I don't know if he will be, but he could. 13k to go. Just a few more corners to navigate. 3k. Still 32 seconds ahead of a very, very quick Tom Pidcock. 1.9, sprinting our way towards the bottom. Like one final turn. Make that 2. And that's a win for Vatsek. We snowball once again. Here comes Tom Pidcock. Felix Gall is well behind. We're moving way up in the GC as well. So much for it not being a thing. It's a thing. It's officially back into being a thing. Here comes the peloton of 11 riders, including, they have 4K, by the way, Civikov. And I see the Plus, Martinez, Rodriguez, Vingegaard, Uchebrooks, Poole, Pogacar, Lentz, and Lindqvist have been caught. Just behind them, Carapaz, Burhi, Van Wilder. Behind that, Decomble, or Decomble, whatever it is. Haddad is there. So he's about to make those last couple of corners, and then we can start sprinting for him. It's another 16 minutes behind to Montez, so he's going to be well out of the GC situation now. 2K. Flat out sprint now. I mean, we could find ourselves in the top 15 after this with Haddad.
This stage was a real strength sapper.
19th on the stage. Chatello, Venter, Pare Penter. Who's our under 25s? It's Montez. Haddad was the other one. He's going to gain a little bit of time in that one, but where are we? Okay, let's just focus on our guys from here. 4.5K. Zayats. Start pushing on, and then Montez is over the top and needs to be going flat out. He's riding with Buitrago, who's half an hour down on GC. 25 minutes down overall. Like, there's absolutely no hope for him to still be in the under 25s after today. But that other guy keeps losing time. I think Haddad's the more likely to then move into hopes for that. But Montez might as well, finish off his race day with effort and try to lose a little less time than just casually riding down on the mountainside. After this, we will take care of our snowball. Vacek, big victory. Third of this race. Second for him. Or is it third for him? Did he win all three? He has won all three. That's his third stage victory of this tour. And we're only halfway through it. Only 4 more nations left to draw from the 7 pool before we get into the 8s. Portugal or UK. It's going to be really close to the line. It's going to come... Oh, I don't know. I don't know which it is. It's UK. The UK 7-5. Very big addition. Obviously, a lot of talented riders. The guy we were directly competing with for today's victory, Tom Pidcock, among them. Of course, we cannot afford the likes of a Tom Pidcock, and we really can't afford any of the UK riders now. It's already late July. The dossiers are done, dusted, behind us. Signing periods in like a week. So it's going to be next year before we can access the UK. Still, though, massive addition. And yeah, this list is getting shorter and shorter. Before too long, it's kind of all we're going to be working with, because we've got, 2 Pop 4 nations left for regular World Tours. And then we have half a dozen Pop 6s for the Giro and La Vuelta to get after. And you'd figure in the next year or two we'd be able to get 6 more victories. And, quite possibly one of those nations could become a Pop 7 themselves at some stage and get bumped out of that group. So before too long, it's all about Pop 7, 8, 9s and just building the best team we can. Finances being the biggest obstacle. We're getting a lot closer to the end than I thought we were when we were kind of still trying to break out. We're still Continental Pro team, and we already seem to be approaching the end, the unlock it all type thing, and become #1 team. We're gonna wrap this episode up here in just a second with the GC picture and KOM or anything along those lines that we might be involved in. We might have a different race on our hands now. So only Pidcock and Gall, who were well behind us GC-wise, survive off the front. 7:06. Haddad was at 8:17, so he lost a minute to those guys, but we gained 7 minutes. Vacek was a little over 10 or 10 and a half down, so he'll be 3.5 minutes behind, but that very well could be a second place at the moment. And then as for Zayas was 13, Montez 25 minutes down, so he's going to be completely out of the picture, losing 18 minutes. But yeah, Vacek suddenly into the picture in second place. Yes, my math was correct. Pogačar leads by 3 minutes over Vacek. No more breakaways, no more stage hunting. Now we're going to be riding GC for Vacek, and probably with others to protect. Carapaz, 4.5 minutes down. Gregoire's 7 minutes down, so we suddenly have 4 minutes over them. Not with Montez anymore, but with somebody who can actually climb Not a great climber, but he's on that fitness peak and will be for the next stages. The final few stages, like your 19, 20-ish, could be a problem. 18-ish could be a problem, as he very well could be done with that fitness peak a little early, and that might be a little bit of a oh please hang on story at that point. But right now he looks like somebody who could hang on decently well. He's not going to be the guy though. It's good that he's not leading overall, right? It's much better that Pogacar is and comfortable, and we're not going to contend with him. It's up to his team to defend, not us. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to have Carapaz, Gregoire trying to attack us and go clear. I think we're going to be more about riding Pogacar's wheel and just trying to hang on is going to be the strategy, at least off the top of my head. Gregoire, Poole, Malesi, Lenny Martinez, 7:30 down. So it's not even Danny Martinez, it's Lenny Martinez. Didn't realize that it was. I didn't realize they were both in this race. We've definitely seen Danny Martinez, though. Lazari, those guys are all close to each other, right? That's less than a minute separating Gregoire and Pellizzari. Vingegaard, he's into the top 10 now. 9th, 8:44 down. And Tom Pidcock, also from today's breakaway, climbs into the top 10 in 9:15. Ucha Brooks and those guys, I can hold them off. We're not going to lose 8 minutes. That's it. We ride defensively. We could lose a minute or two, but we're not going to lose massive time. Wow. Okay. Well, we have ourselves a situation now, don't we? It's going to be an interesting one from here. In the points, no contention. Mountain, Vatsek leads. Vatsek leads. Okay, so he's the KOM leader. Haddad is third in the under 25s. Vinter did move into the lead. DeCamble also is up there. So just on the podium. I think at this point it's going to be more about the other podium. And we are the team leader. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.